Hey guys, I want to share with you a seminar I did at Barcelona Gathering last summer. It is called Functional Training for Movement Athletes. Hope you enjoy. Let me know if you like this kind of content and we'll keep posting it. All right, straight to the seminar. Can you guys raise your hands if you do any weight training or resistance training at all? Okay, so we all have a little bit of experience, but we don't do it regularly. That's what I'm kind of thinking, right? Is that correct? Cool. All right. It's easier to create a program or to start working out because my goal for you guys at the end of this workshop is that you know how to create a basic program so that you can strengthen your body, create more resilience. So it's not just like, okay, I have more power, but what is resilience, right? It's the ability to resist force and resist injury, and it's the ability to bounce back from injury. So you'll find that the stronger you get, maybe you are getting injured. It's not like there's nothing 100%. You know, things are still going to happen. We're doing pretty crazy stuff. But how quickly can you bounce back? How quickly, or how maybe you reduced the severity of the injury, right? Because you're way stronger. Like actually right before I left for this tour, unfortunately, I tweaked my knee a bit. And by a bit, I mean every step I felt it. And I was like, okay, this sucks. I'm going to Europe in one day. And this happened. And like, yeah, I did a bunch of like physio type stuff to it as well, but like I'm pretty good. I don't feel it, which I did not expect at all. And I can attribute that, I think, to strength training and training in this way for movement, for tricking, you know? So maybe this isn't the thing that, you know, I think it does get you the next skill, really, but also, too, it helps you just do this longer and create a body that can do it, right? So basically, I want to give you like categories of things to train, and then we're going to define what those are, and then I'm going to show you a few movements in each category, and then you can kind of just make sure that you're implementing them in your training. Does that make sense, everybody? Cool. This is the question mic, if you don't mind. I have an app called TrickStrong RX, and I put my workshops on the app so that we can educate more than everybody in the room. So if you don't mind, if you have questions, just speak into this. Go ahead again.
In this workshop, will you cover mobility training as well?
Mobility training. So my goal wasn't specifically to go over mobility training, but it's more about, like basically through full range of motion training, you will be training your mobility. So like there are specific things you can do that are like maybe like more joint mobility or mobility based things that we might not go over today. But in the way we'll train, we will be building mobility, strength, endurance, all the stuff. Does that make sense? Cool. All right, so who knows what a squat is? Cool. Can somebody show me a squat? Like over here, please. Hold on. I'm gonna make this easy. We'll get some kettlebells or something. Thank you. All right. Does somebody want to show me a deadlift? All right. Okay. How similar do those look? Right? Very similar. So we're going to differentiate what that is right now. So these are the first two movement patterns we're going to be talking about. So a squat and a hinge. So a deadlift is a type of hinge movement. So a squat, who knows the difference between a squat and a deadlift? Like just conceptually.
Squat is more like legs and butt.
Okay.
The other is more like back and hamstring.
Go. Yeah. Perfect. So no, that's great. So he said the squat is more legs and butt, and the deadlift is more hamstrings and lower back. Those are the things that are being worked, but why? I'm going to tell you. So with a squat, you're getting more knee movement. So it's a more knee dominant movement. So if I do a squat, damn, this thing's light. So yeah, if I do a squat, my knees are moving a lot, right? You see how much my knees are moving? If I do a deadlift, which is a hinge type movement, my knees are not moving a lot. And there's there's nuance, you know? There's variability in between, and they can become pretty similar, but the idea is that in the hinge movement, you're moving more from your hips, and in the squat, you're moving more from your knees. And that matters because that's gonna dictate how you're training. So for example, if I do a bunch of pop tricks, that's gonna be what? All right. If I do some swings, what's that gonna be? Thank you. So now we know why this matters, right? If you're having problems with certain tricks or you wanna improve certain things, now you can target it because you know the difference and you know how to train that, right? So those are the basic movements, right? What I wanna do with this workshop too is give you guys ideas of how to train for tricking, not just like for body, like of course you'll get way stronger, you know, just doing the basic like squat, deadlift, lunge is the next one we're gonna be talking about. But if you can do it in a way that looks like tricking, it might help you more for your movement. Does that make sense? Cool. Does anyone want to try a single leg deadlift, what I just demonstrated? So yeah, go ahead, please. So look at where he's moving from. And actually that's a good option too. You know, he was staggered. You can do that too. This is a lot of balance. So you could have the other leg in the back. It's great. So if you can stand like this and do the same movement for me, please. Just have that leg in back a little bit. And on the ground? Yeah, and you do it from there. Perfect. So that's how you can, it's gonna be mostly his front leg, so if you're having difficulty with balance, you can train it in that way, right? And let's just get the sets and reps and things out of the way for now, like just easy, nice and easy. You know, you can go a lot more in depth. On my app, I have a lot of different rep schemes and everything like that, but we could just use the rule of like 3 to 5, 3 to 5, 3 to 5. 3 to 5 sets, 3 to 5 reps, 3 to 5 exercises to train each movement pattern. That could be across one workout, that could be across multiple workouts. So, does that make sense?
Can you repeat the last part?
Yes.
3 to 5 sets, 3 to 5 reps, and 3 to 5?
3 to 5 exercises of each section of thing we're talking about. So, that's gonna be squat. You want 3 to 5 exercises for squat movements, hinging, deadlift type movements. Let's do a variation for squats. I think you guys know what I'm gonna say. Pistol squat. Who wants to show me a pistol squat? All right, let's go. Thank you. We need volunteers. Thanks, bro. Oh yeah. Nice. That was the lowest possible pistol squat you could do. Wow. Nice. Who cannot do a pistol squat? Great. Thank you for being honest. That's awesome. All right. So from what we just learned from the hinge, what could we do to get the benefits of the pistol squat while we separately build our ability to do it, right? Remember what he did with the single leg deadlift? If you don't have the balance, assist. Put another leg down, right? You can tap. You can go on a block like this, right? You can develop the ability to do a pistol squat like this very easily. One of my favorites is a Bulgarian split squat. And a lot of people do put it on top of a bench. I don't like this version. I'll get to you in 1 second. This is going to make it very hingy, which you know what I mean now. Now your leg is gonna go, you see how my weight's forced behind here? So now I'm going like this. So it's cool, but it's not training what you think because you think you're doing a squat, but you're doing a hinge. So you're not gonna train what you think you're training. It's not a problem, it's just not what's happening. So what I like to do is get like 2 plates. And then this is a really good height for a Bulgarian. And then you can use some weight. And it's a very good single leg squat variation. So it's a squat because I'm moving a lot from my knees and not from my hips versus this, right? So who wants to give that a shot? Anyone? Also, before you do, you can do so many different versions. You don't have to just use weights for resistance training. You can use your body too, and you could do more like power-based stuff. So you can just jump here. You can do taps. You can be very low, and ideally these are the same weight, and you can just kind of bounce. This gives you a lot of resilience in your landings, right? Make sense? So if you guys want to give those things a shot, you can as well. And what I think I'll do, if I can get a couple volunteers just to get some kettlebells, and just so you guys can try it without having to like be in the exact center, just like a few. Yeah, that should be enough. Thank you. But yeah, if anyone wants to try that, those are really nice. And it's also nice to see other versions. It's like, oh, hey, this guy has good form because that's what I do for my life. But if you see other people doing it, you're like, oh, okay, he's like moving a little bit different. Like you just learn a lot that we can't fully explain, right? Just by seeing things. So please try this. This is a workshop, not a seminar. So I want you guys to work. You had a question.
Yes, I have a question. If I don't have so much flexibility on the part of the front of my heel, what can I do? Because when I go down, my ¿cómo se llama esto? My heel goes up.
Yes, perfect. All right, perfect. Can you show me
Yes.
that? Yeah. Oh, this is great. This is great.
When I do, for example, a squat, okay, when I'm here.
Yep. All right. You know this, right? Try it here.
Okay. Oh, it's magic, eh?
There you go.
Magic.
So I'm not saying not to train your ankle mobility. I'm saying you can train your squat at a deeper range of motion right now. You don't have to wait for your ankle to get more flexible. But separate.
Too, no? But this is good too, no? For my flex,
Yeah.
doing with weight.
Yeah, exactly. That's true too. So like, work on your ankle mobility separately using like a single leg calf raise with a slant board or a step. That's a really good one. And you can just do a stretch like that too. But then also, if you want to train your squats deeper, which I think is very good for your knees and hips and ankles, then use assistance for now. And the weight itself, like you said, will help you come down more deeply than you normally can. And then please stay there. That no, like with the weight. That's another really good thing to do. You do goblet squat holds with the weight, and you can even shift left to right. Yeah. And you'll get a lot of ankle mobility with that. It doesn't have to be a super heavy weight. I'd rather it be something you can stay down at least 20, 30 seconds would be perfect. Yeah, of course. All right, so next one, and I'm starting with the lower body because, it's tricky. We'll do some upper body too. Last one for the lower body, kind of, is the lunge. Anyone want to show me a lunge? Nice. Cool, so a lunge is pretty obvious. It looks like that, right? But the cool thing about a lunge is it starts to be more of like walking. So it's reciprocal. So it means like you're alternating between sides if you do it like this. And that's a cool thing too because you're getting coordination, which is gonna help with your movement. We don't wanna just lift weights and get strong. We wanna be coordinated and skilled at our movement, right? So you gotta learn how to use your body in different ways and different orientations. You do swings or whatever. Even like going into a scoot or anything like that, you might be using lunges for a lot of different things in tricking and the strength that you're gonna get from lunges in a lot of different things. So I really like a lunge. We could do walking lunges. That's a really nice basic one. You just have one or two bells or no weight at all. You don't have to have weight. And then you just walk down, like you were doing. There's like lateral lunges. So you can go side to side. So you can hold this however you want. This is easy too. And then you can go like that. So this is called a Cossack squat, but it's like no different than a lateral lunge pretty much. You can also, I like the rebound lunge. So you can think about getting strength. You can think about getting power. Anyone know the difference? Strength is the ability to produce force. Power is the ability to produce force very quickly. So we like power. Power is very nice. And you can do what I call a rebound lunge. So you can come here and come back up. That one's a good one. That's a good like plyometric type thing that's gonna help with your jumping and all this kind of stuff and ankle stability. So actually, since that's the most unique one, why don't we try rebound lunges? So you're just basically gonna pretend you're gonna face plant and you're gonna catch yourself with your leg and you're gonna come back up. And you're gonna use that power to push yourself back up. And I want you to have most of your weight on the front of your foot. Yeah, no, I mean, if your heel touches, that's fine, but I do not want it to be heavy on your heel at all. It should be a lot of front half of the foot. Yeah.
Should it be like behind the toes?
It,
In line with the toes?
It can go over. And I'm glad you asked that because for some strange reason, and that's why the knees over toes guys exists, is because of this concept of knees over toes is dangerous, yet every single time you walk, your knees go over your toes. Every time you go up and down stairs, your knees go over your toes a lot, actually. So next time you go up or down a stair, you'll see just how much you're going. And then let alone tricking. I mean, if you're landing swings from like this high, boom, boom, you know, and then now you're gonna be like, oh no, I can't put my knee over my toe. I got, like, you know, then you're gonna have very weak knees and it's not gonna be fun. So by getting your knees over your toes, you're using your quad a lot, and that's a very important muscle for us. So I don't mind it. Like I don't need you to like force it over unless we had a specific reason to do that. But really, it's just naturally it's gonna go over, and you push back to stand. And you could do that. I like the pauses. That's really hard. You guys are like going here, and then back up. It's kind of training different things. It's not bad, it's just different. So I also like the rebound because you're training yourself to accept and reverse it fast instead of just accepting and then waiting. So I would say that that's more advanced, coming back immediately because now you're quickly stopping and return. It's like, you know, turning really fast or something. So that one's a good one too. Nice. You guys like it? Definitely do both sides. I really like unilateral training, meaning single leg, single arm, for obvious reasons. We're usually on one leg or one arm. Also, that's just how human movement is. Like everything's like single leg actually, even walking, right? We use them kind of at the same time, but we're rarely like this. And that's why you see bodybuilders that don't train across their body kind of like moving like this, because that's what they've trained themselves to do, and that's not what we want to do. Last thing, actually, sorry, I'm gonna go back to the hinge, but it might be a good review because I really want to show you guys a kettlebell swing. Yo, what is this? All right, so you're here and you just thrust really hard and that's it. Kettlebell swing. That one is like very, very good. Very, very good. I love that one.
It's kind of a deadlift, right?
It's a deadlift. It's basically a fast deadlift. Really. And so what you're doing is you're swinging the bell back like American football. You throw the ball to the other guy, right? So do that and then use the momentum to thrust your hips up. You're not using your arms. It is not a shoulder raise at all. Your arm is just a chain. It should feel like a chain, dead weight. And you should feel your butt stretching at this position, and then you're gonna squeeze it really, really hard to come back up. Nice. And do as many as you want, you know, I mean, you don't have to do like 100.
I feel my left one a lot.
Okay. So yeah, if you don't mind me using that as a comment, like he said he feels his left one a lot. So maybe, I mean, I'm sure you might know why, but also,
It's weaker.
yeah, so he says it's weaker, so great. So what's something he could do to help that one?
Single leg deadlift.
Exactly, and that's why single leg stuff is so important because in tricking, it's so dominant to one leg usually. You're doing a bunch of swings. So I'm not necessarily saying to do more on the side that's weaker, unless you have a specific injury or something. But I am saying that if you do them separately, this one won't lag behind nearly as much. We don't have to be perfectly symmetrical, but we do have to be kind of closer than what we would naturally be. If we just tricked, I'd be standing like this right now. So yeah. All right, so that's the lower body. We've got the most important stuff out of the way. But I said kinda, right? So let's go to carry next. So that's another, so squat, lunge, hinge, carry.
But it's not working.
Nothing?
No,
Okay. squat, hinge, lunge, and then now we're gonna do carry. So what's a carry? Anyone? Yeah, please.
Like that?
Perfect. So keep going. You're doing great. So that's a suitcase carry. Yeah, you can stop. Yeah. Thanks. I saw your raises before, by the way. They were really good. Yeah, so that's a suitcase carry. I really like that one versus what a lot of people do is farmer's carry. So not bad, just better or harder. This is crazy, but if you had two really heavy ones, like these two green ones, and you walk with this, yes, you're holding twice the weight, right? But this is easier on my core than doing this. This is harder on my core, even with double the weight, because of the benefit of the asymmetrical, like I want to drop here, versus before it just compresses me, so it's very easy. So if you really need to pick up groceries, you should use both hands. But if you're trying to train your body, you should use one hand. Because yeah, it's a huge difference.
So what is best, with one or with two?
It's, I prefer one if you can. If you need to progress to it, of course, use two and then use one after. But honestly, I don't use two very often because you can always just use a very light weight with one hand and then you're getting the benefit on both sides. Takes more time. You have to do sets on each side, of course, but it's awesome. I mean, if you guys want to try just picking one up and walking around a bit, you'd be surprised in like 20, 30 seconds, the other side of your obliques is going to be like really a lot different.
Because of the fact that we are an asymmetric sport.
Yes. Definitely. Yeah, this is going to help you a lot with twisting, actually. Yes, awesome. So she's doing a single arm carry overhead. So that's a lot more advanced version of a carry. So these are not the only carries you can do. You can do carries, yeah, like Kevin's doing, which is really, sorry, I'm putting you on the spot. So that's a bell up carry. You want to use, okay, good. You can, just try a lighter one. So if you do this, if you guys want to do this with a lighter one, it's going to train your shoulder stability a lot, which is going to be good for like touchdown raise and every handed skill. So, yeah. Did you? Is it good? Is it good?
Yeah.
Okay. You like keep looking at it. I'm like, no, not the war. Nice. There you go. Yeah, definitely. So you can do tons with carries. You can even actually hold two overhead. And what's that like?
Like this?
Two. No, just like holding them. Yeah. Give him the other one, and just hold it. Yeah, like that overhead. So what does that feel like anything to you? That's amazing. So it could be like a handstand round off, something like that, right? He's just upright, but it's the same thing going on in your body. Cool. So we went over carries, some options there. What I really like, I don't want to get too complicated. Like there's some really complicated, like Turkish get-ups and stuff that's going to take a while. But if you watch, if you do a windmill, I really like these two. So it's a hinge plus a carry. So we're combining now. So now you can go like this. So that one, I was so confused when I first started doing this. The next day, my hamstrings were destroyed. And I was like, I didn't do Nordics, or what happened to me? I didn't even trick. I was like, what's going on? And then it took the next time for me to realize this thing shreds your hamstrings, like, oh my God. Because the hamstrings, everyone trains very linearly, but that's not how the body's designed. The hamstrings go at angles. So by doing this, you're gonna get your hamstrings at many different angles, and yeah, it's gonna be a lot more beneficial. What does this look like trick-wise? Yeah. So it's a good position to be strong in, right? And again, your core is gonna get really strong by doing that. Cool. All right, so now we got 2 more. We're almost there. So we got push and pull. So who wants to do a push-up? Yeah, that's beautiful. Cool. What have we been doing, right? We've been doing a lot of single leg, single arm. So, but we saw that doing single leg or single arm is not always so easy, right? So what do we do with a push-up if we want to make it a bit harder without making it a single arm push-up? Anyone want to show me? All right, let's see it. Nice. What else could you do while you're there? Okay, never mind.
You can do push-up like not in front, but a little more on the hip.
Yeah, you could do that. But what can you do to make one arm work more than the other? Yeah, exactly. So like a Spider-Man push-up or an archer push-up. So, and you know, like with fitness and, you know, I call it fitness because I feel like it's different than what we're doing. We're training for a specific reason, right? And this fitness industry and stuff is very based on bodybuilding still. A lot of things you'll see, it's like, okay, let me do bicep. What's that gonna do for tricking? Like, I mean, if you want, like, I'm not saying it's bad. Like, if you want bigger biceps, definitely do that. But if you're trying to train for tricking specifically, and it's a chore to work out, you might as well do the things that are gonna help you the most. And it's not gonna be bicep curls. And it's not gonna be very linear things like where you look like a robot. So you could do like an archer. So you can make it as hard or as easy as you want. So I didn't go that much, right? Or I could just, you know, like that would be like a push-up, but I could go like this. You know, barely do more on one side. Or I can get really wide and go like that. And then you could alternate, you can make it fun, you could stagger. We don't have to be super linear. We can mess around because in tricking and in movement is not very linear. So think more globally, and then people in the gym are gonna be like, that guy's weird. And you're gonna be like, yeah, but I'm doing stuff that's gonna help me instead of like, Yeah, they're weird, they don't know. So that's a horizontal push. We could do vertical push too, right? Handstand push-up, anyone? Push-up jump? You could do that, yeah. So that's a power option. So yeah, let's see it. Whoa. All right. I figured you wanted to show me something, so glad I let you do that. That was dope. You got a handstand push-up? Oh my God, no wall? Who is this guy?
I just landed.
Yeah. Yo. Nice. Nice. Without a wall, that is very difficult. So obviously you could use a wall. You can put your feet on something that isn't as vertical as a wall, right? So, I mean, or you could just use the wall and not go all the way up, right? You can do it from here as well. So those are all options, every angle in between to progress it. You can also use weights and just do overhead presses, things like that. Single arm, double arm.
The thing that helped me really get that one was doing the negatives of that. Like just trying to slow down, like fall out of a handstand as slowly as possible.
Nice.
That's when it started to click a lot more.
Was it the wall drill into that first? Okay.
Sometimes, and then it would be just like fall out of a handstand as slowly.
Yeah. What do you think helped more to get that? Probably the second one, right? Like doing it out of the handstand.
So like there's like the balance part, right? And then there's the strength part. I had the balance part. So the thing that helped strength was the negative.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Perfect, yeah. And that's for everything. You can always do negatives. There's nothing wrong with like, okay, I can't do a full pistol squat, so I can just go like as slow as possible to build the strength and then just sit and come back up. Or if you don't want to sit on the ground, I don't always want to, like, I don't know what people do in the gyms, like they're kind of dirty. You just go like this, right? And you can do that with weight too. And you can go as low as you can, whatever. Also, the ankle mobility question, I did like a pistol squat challenge. It was really crazy and not recommended. I did like 100 pistol squats on each leg for 100 days. It was a lot. So did she. And also single leg calf raises too, same thing. But anyway, I did not expect, like my ankles are pretty mobile, but like I had like a little like kind of pinch thing that was like so minor. I was like, whatever, it's life now. And that went away in like 10 or 20 days of doing that. So like just training pistol squats in whatever range you have as deep as you can before your heel rises is gonna help your ankle mobility like a lot. So if anyone has any ankle stuff, that's another good one. And then the last one I would like to go over is pull. So who wants to do a pull-up? Woo. Oh God, that was very explosive. Thank you. Nice. So same rules apply. I want you guys to show me now what we've learned by how we can modify this to work for us or to bias one side versus the other, etc. What can we do with the pull-up to do that?
Can I try?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, definitely. The elbow. Yeah. Nice. Oh, no, that's awesome, dude. Thank you. And actually, single arm hangs are really good too. Like, they're so much harder. You do double, you can stay there for like a minute or something. And as soon as you do this, it's like 3 seconds, 10 seconds. You're just, you know, it's really hard. So try single arms. Like if hanging feels like almost useless, like it's just, oh, this is a nice stretch. It doesn't feel like it's a strength thing. Then just hang with one arm and there you go. That'll work for another few years. And then you could just start adding weights or something, I don't know. But yeah, so pull-ups are great. Do you think that pull-ups are very helpful for tricking? Could you see why that would be useful?
Maybe the
Yeah, exactly. Like he said posture, and he said pushing for the round. So anything that you, any side, you train one side of your body, you should train the other side. Not only to, be symmetrical and prevent injuries and all that stuff, but like, you think you're only using your pecs with a push-up, but you're stabilizing with the other side so that this can do the best work it can. It's trying to it's the difference between holding that, 15 kg or holding like a sandbag of 15 kg. It's like, it's very unstable, right? So if you can create stability in your body with all the muscles, then it's gonna make the one that only has to do the pushing a lot stronger because it's all of its energy is directed to where you want to do. Make sense?
Oh, yeah. I would also say that it might help also for the twisting position because the pull-ups is this and
Yes.
the twisting position is flat.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
For sure. And honestly, that's the answer I was looking for, so thank you. And let me show you another one that would be looking like twisting even more. So, it's kind of long. I have to go this way. So yeah, you're here. Single arm row with your body or with a cable, This is very much twisting, right?
Yeah.
Like it's awesome. You could even do like one arm, one leg, just to make it more interesting. You have to stabilize your body and coordinate all the things. Those are really good ones. So if you guys want to try that, but that's a more horizontal push. So in these patterns, it's not like, okay, I do a push-up, a pull-up, a squat, a deadlift, a lunge. Like you could do that actually to start. It's a very good idea. Just keep it basic, keep it simple. 3 of 5, 3 of 5, 3 of 5. Just do the basic exercises. But once you get more advanced, or if you really want to make it for tricking and there's no pain or anything like that, I want you guys to play with these variations that we were showing you and just see what happens, see how it improves, because I'm very thankful to everybody who tells me that they're doing well with the programs that we have on the app and everything, and they're like, yo, I got this trick because of this. I was trying this for a year, and I probably just wasn't strong enough or wasn't coordinated enough or didn't have enough stability or whatever, and then that is what it clicked. So it's not always technique. Technique is extremely important, and honestly, I work on that more now than the other stuff because just strength and stuff is more natural to me than the technique, so I have to work a lot harder on that. But a lot of times, you'd be surprised at how much it's just like mobility or strength or endurance. Like if you're trying to do a bunch of swings, probably be helpful if you could do a lot of pistol squats, right? Because now, even though you're never gonna go down there, you're still strong enough to take each impact or a lot of single leg deadlifts, right? So think about training in that way, as well as the skills, and I think your tricking will feel a lot better and a lot more enjoyable, and you'll be able to do it for a lot longer. I'm at almost 20 years now of tricking, so, and I still feel pretty good. So, yeah. Any questions? Yes. Thank you for remembering. I forgot.
Just want to ask about hips, because now I'm in a situation of like starting to kick, because I come from freerunning, and then kicks are like literally, because lack of technique, like hurting my hips, and then it's like this part and this like psoas, and any exercises for strengthen or gain mobility to try to avoid or not like leave that?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Thank you for asking. Yeah, there's a few. We went over some of them. So the Cossack squat's really good. But if you're trying to train your adductor more, you're still gonna get your adductor by doing this, but I like keeping it down. And then also, you can do it in a way where it won't be visible, but I can push into the ground and use this leg more to lower than this leg. This leg is, like right now I'm showing you, but like I'm mainly keeping myself up with this leg, and this one's just helping assist and stabilize, and I can come out that way. So if you're holding a weight, it's a really, really good one. The windmill is really, really good. You're getting hip range of motion throughout the whole way. So those are good. I like Copenhagen's, which we didn't go over. Do you know what that is? I would start on the floor actually, and then you can start elevating it to get higher, just like the handstand. If you invert it more, it gets harder. So I would start like this. It's a side plank. You're gonna use your bottom leg to help first. This is the first level. So you're here and you're pushing with the top leg. So it's an adductor plank, basically. Yeah, down. So you're just here. And then the second level would be to lift your leg up. But you can always just try and see if it hurts or whatever. After that's comfortable, then you can add movement if you want, just to help with the stability. And then you can put your leg on something. I was gonna ask Vivian to hold me, but this is, yeah, I know, but you know, it's a little weird. So you're here, you can go like that after. And those are really good. So yeah, those, any of the exercises, squat, hinge, lunges, lunge is gonna get the front of your hip, and you can exaggerate the parts you need. You don't have to do like, okay, this is the way to do a lunge, right? Okay, my hip flexor feels very tight, so I can do a lunge where I put my hip really far back so I can feel it there. And then if you're doing that with strength, that's gonna accelerate it. So a lot of people just do stretching, right? So, okay, I wanna stretch this part of my hip, so I'm just gonna sit here. But if you do it with load and strengthen, like you're gonna get strength and mobility at the same time. Now you're not wasting your time like doing a whole bunch of stuff, and it's gonna help faster. Like for me, like mobility is more difficult for me to get, but as soon as I started using weighted mobility training, it's like way faster to get more gains. So if you're just like, you could sit here for a minute or something with some weight, or you can just do lunges where you're walking. But I would rather, if you want to get it looser, you want to spend some time there. So, thank you.
That's in order of strengthen and gain mobility. But if I am in a situation of I cannot like literally close and do like force. Yeah, a lot. Okay. So what can I practice to heal? Because I heard like stretching is not the key. So I told like many people and said like this injury is like you have to be careful because can be expanded on the time like 1 year and.
No, it's true, honestly, and I don't want to scare you or anything, but the groin injuries tend to be taking longer because every step you take, you're using your adductor, and people want to stretch it because it feels tight and all this stuff. But to be honest, I have a groin rehab program on my app, and there's a 7-day free trial. I would start there because there's a lot of easier drills. So I have a drill like this where you just get, you know, a wall or a doorway, and you're just gently pushing. Not enough to hurt, but enough to feel it. And you're doing 10-second holds and then relax. 10-second holds, relax. You can also get a band from something and then do that too. And those are still useful, like no matter what your level is, you just put more force or more, more weight or whatever. So I would start with that. Honestly, what other ones are there? Actually what you just did was one of them in the program too, where you're just doing squeezes. So like it starts at that level too. So you can start there. That's what I would recommend.
Probably a wider object if he's struggling with the range of motion.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So you can always play with the different variations, but I have all the progressions there of how you would go from that to heavier stuff and heavier stuff. And there's like 3 phases. So the first phase is what you would definitely start with right now, but phase 3 is a whole bunch of like skier jumps and like, it's like harder than tricking the third phase. So I would start there. And then just look on the TrickStrong Instagram. You can go on the link in bio and the app is there. It's not in the App Store. So yeah, cool. Any other questions? Did we do it? We did it. Thank you guys, appreciate you. It was fun. You can always ask me any questions on the side if you want. Like, I don't mind at all. And DM me too.